Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing week. I'm going to start today's video with a question, an observation, if you will. I want you to think about recently, all the job layoffs, everything, I know, depressing thought. All the tech layoffs, the government layoffs that are now about to happen. And yet, not just social media, but all the way across the board, we seem to get inundated by people who seem to have money coming out of their ears pretty much. They seem to have super nice homes, sports cars even in some cases, and money to burn on clothes and things of that nature, where it seems almost unlikely, if not impossible. You start to look at them and you start to wonder, how in the world? Well, I want to introduce you to a term I've heard thrown around out there quite a bit called luxury poverty. Luxury poverty being the new sort of standard that's out there, where 99.999% of especially Americans that are exuding this sort of opulence are creating a front to make it appear as if they are far wealthier than they actually are. And in doing some of the number crunching and everything, I've begun to see the pattern that had shifted over the years. And follow with me if you will. Remember back into the 1990s, the early 2000s, when you might have been able to buy a home in some parts of the country for a nice home too, 150K. You might be able to get a used car, have it paid off, drive that thing around for a period of time, and the higher priced ticket items were the TVs, the game systems, some of the trips that you would buy and pay for. Your basic necessities and things that you needed to live weren't nearly as priced out as all the extras were. Now fast forward to today, where everything that's a basic necessity is now hyper expensive. Housing prices have skyrocketed way out of reach. There are places not far from me that used to have homes that were 150K that are now over $1 million in that same area. It's not because the value of the home has gone up. It's not because the value of the vehicles have gone up. But we've done this strange sort of switchover that I think is very intentional, to where people no longer actually have money. They spend all of their time presenting a false front of looking opulent, looking affluent, when they actually have nothing. I think that this is a deliberate thing to try to entrap the rest of us that are looking at all of this almost like it's a form of a psyop, if you will, to trying to get us to spend money that we shouldn't be spending, which is why I try to encourage everybody on this channel to just keep your head low, get as much out of debt as you possibly can, stack cash where you possibly, the best places that you possibly can. Try to find a way to start some form of a business or something to where you're not entirely reliant on one stream of income. Plan your exit from your job just in case, because nowadays that is important more than ever. But I'm wondering how many of you have noticed this, that it gets pushed in your face, even if you don't encounter people like this, but on social media, every time you turn around. Luxury poverty is being pushed into your face. And I will tell you this as somebody who has not just done my own investing in the past, but I've worked doing contract work with people and with investors that will tell you flat out, the people that are flashing it all, especially even back in the day, were absolutely the ones that didn't have any money. And we've also got another disturbing trend on top of all of this, where there are young women online advising other young women to chase after that false front as something that they should be aspiring to try and lock down, a guy that's putting forth some sort of a, luxury poverty front so that it looks like they're hitting the jackpot when they get involved with this individual. Which is the irony of things, is their approach, the young women's approach, is completely false, dishonest, and then they get mad at the young man's approach, which was also completely false and dishonest, when the con artistry kind of cancels itself out on both ends. Ironic, but very interesting to see. How many of you are noticing that this gets even pushed even more, like products are being shoved at you that you do not need? And to the point of, other than certain film things or promotional things that I'll put up online, I just avoid even surfing on Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that, because I've become aware over time just how honed in psychologically they are to try and push our buttons, to try and get us to buy things or get entrapped in things that we absolutely do not need. And you've got everything you pretty much need right at your fingertips, probably already, but they've got to try and sell you something like that. I recently watched basically an expose talking about Amazon and Walmart and a bunch of other companies that constantly push and ship just all kinds of junk all over the world, to the point to where they have to be constantly tricking you into buying things you don't need. Their entire industry is built on it. All the fake stuff that they put out there about caring about the environment, which is completely and utterly ridiculous, with the mountains of plastic that they're putting out there. They are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. But it's just amazing to me. We've got an entire economy wrapped around consumer spending, of tricking you into buying things that you don't need so that super elite people can make lots of money off of you. So I'm wondering how many of you are really doing your best to unplug from this. How many of you are pulling aside, stacking your cash, making backup plans, making escape plans from your job? The best thing you can possibly ever do for yourself. Invest in yourself by making an escape plan from your current job, because they probably, with the way the market is right now, be prepared. Live quietly, live frugally, stack your cash as much as possible, and be very careful on what you're spending it on. In many ways, we'll be hitting the elites right where it hurts, right in the wallet. Now, it takes time. It takes time. I realize that a few small pockets of people here and there trying to push back this way is not necessarily going to change anything. It's only going to really protect us in the end. But as always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, where you stand, what your current journey is with this. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All of that helps the algorithm. If you're able to hype the video, I know that's a new feature. I'm always appreciative of that. I also have a new group that you can join in the school community, and a course that you can take if you're interested in learning how to do a YouTube business. That's also available there too. I'll have links all in the description below. So I'll look forward to talking to you all again soon. As always, it's good to talk to everybody again. I just got over being sick, so it's nice to be back. And I'll talk to you later.